Welcome back to the Lodi Rampage. This is Nick.
I'm Natalia.
I'm Elena.
Why do the giggles sound so fake? Like, I'm Elena.
All right, so for this edition, the Lodi Rampage wanted to reach out to teachers and ask for music recommendations, and we're going to be doing some live reactions. So why are we doing this, you might ask? Well, Elena, I pass that over to you. Why are we doing this?
Ask your question, Nick. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing
Let's
this?
pass it on to me. So, the reason we're doing this is because we want to expand our music taste, not just ask teachers that have the same music taste as us, but expand the horizons. There's so many different flavors of music and melodies and themes. And what better way than the music of Lodi High School?
That's pretty good. How do you guys feel about the soon-to-be recommendations?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what Miss Matthews listens to. I don't really know. I don't even have an idea.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because we're excited to see the teachers' review of our favorite albums, and they're excited to see our reviews of their favorite albums. So it's kind of interesting to see how different types of music attract different types of people.
It's true. I just hope I get a positive review. Can't even lie. So yeah.
Me too.
I recommended Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division, and it's not something everyone would be into. So I don't know if Miss Matthews is gonna be into it as much as I am, So
Yeah, I recommended Melophobia by Cage the Elephant. I feel like he might like some songs, but a lot of them are very easygoing, easy beat, and maybe that's not his vibe.
I feel like Porter might not enjoy my recommendation because I feel like people would chalk it up to being generic. I really enjoy what I recommended, but I feel like on first listen or just surface level wise, people might just find it to be like any other sort of indie pop record. So we'll see what he actually thinks about it.
First, Mr. Sabitsky will be reviewing my album Melophobia by Cage the Elephant, and then I will be reviewing his album Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
So my album that I recommended to Miss Matthews is Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. And in turn, she gave me The Sign by Ace of Base.
I'll be going last. I'll be recommending Fake It Flowers by Bia Badoobie to Mr. Porter, and he'll be recommending me Author of Modern Thought EP by The Mellow Elves. All right, and we'll reconvene at the end and talk about what we have learned.
This is Hypocrite off of Melophobia by Cage the Elephant. Alright, this one's not bad. This is the lightest of the bunch. Actually, I like this one the best. It's California vibe kind of deal. This is definitely not a driving song, but I could definitely have this on some kind of mellow sidetrack, sure.
So, this next song is Iron Man from Paranoid by Black Sabbath. It's the fourth song off the album, and I mainly listen to it because of the title, but as I listen to it in the lyrics, it has nothing to do with the Marvel character, but honestly, I love the guitar riff in this. I like when songs, you can feel the lyrics through the rhythms. It's a really good song. I would probably add this to my playlist. Now I'm listening to Don't Turn Around. It's the second track. Okay. It's interesting, actually. I could kind of bop to this. Definitely. It's not bad at all. Kind of sounds like a song I already know, though. First minute, 8 seconds in, it's pretty good, actually.
A lot more downbeat than the other two songs that I did. It's a lot more downbeat than Disorder and She's Lost Control. I think that in this song, the lyrics and the music itself actually match a lot better. I think that the lyrics are very relevant today, looking at how people act, especially in trying to make others believe like they do. But I'm not overall a fan of how repetitive and monotonous this particular song is.
Right off the bat, super chill. We got this nice ambient, kind of like string, almost watery, ethereal, magical sounds going on there. Now we got waves going on again. Chill. I love a good chilled vibe. Nice delicate voice sits on top. What more can I ask for? Right off the bat, we're definitely more in. I looked up the artist and kind of her inspirations, and she said one of her inspirations was the album for the movie Juno. If any of you younger folk have even seen the movie Juno, yeah, this takes me back to what I kind of grew up with.
All right, this song is called "The Grand Scheme of Progression." This is really good. I like this a lot. Wow, this is a really good recommendation. I enjoy this a lot. Wow, I mean, lyrically, that track was great. Jeez.
My thoughts range. There's a lot of effects and there's a lot of texturing. There are a lot of layers in this album. If you really start picking things apart, you can hear, fuzz boxes, and you can hear delays, and there's a lot of reverb. So it sounds like they're in a big open room or in a cavern. The cover art says quite a lot about the album itself. It's interesting. It's got downtown LA written all over it. Other bands I would recommend for anybody who likes Cage the Elephant: Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, Arctic Monkeys, Portugal the Man, The Strokes. So, guys, thanks for the opportunity to play along with this. Hope you enjoy the album that I chose.
So, final review of the album Paranoid by Black Sabbath. It's really good. I really like how they include the riffs and the rhythms and the melodies. It's definitely different. Would I listen to it again? Probably, but it was really good, and I'll definitely be adding some of these songs to some of my playlists.
I would start by admitting that it is not usually the kind of thing that I listen to. I am not really a punk rock fan. I'm more of a rock and roll 1950s, pop, 80s, and 90s kind of girl. I actually have to say I kind of liked it. It reminds me a little bit of Green Day in terms of the lyrics and in terms of some of the themes and the parts of human experience that they're willing to examine. And I do like that they confronted some of those darker areas of human experience that we don't necessarily always see getting a lot of play. But I will say that the lyrics and the music can be a little depressing, particularly if you listen to the album in its entirety. Overall, I would give it a 3.5. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, and it's definitely something that I might recommend to people.
I'll start off by saying it's not something I'd listen to ever. Overall, maybe out of 10, I'll give it a 6. It wasn't horrible, but not my favorite. But I could see how it could be someone's favorite. I could definitely see the pop element in this. There's also hints of like electric kind of sound, and like reggae. The sound gets really repetitive. Like if they expanded on it more, it would have given it more variety and more interesting sound. Young and Poor is I think because I'm young and poor, it's relatable. But yeah, it's an okay album. Not gonna lie, not horrible, but not the greatest.
All right, so all in all together, top to bottom, it's kind of the same chill vibe straight through. I think she got a great voice. I love me some acoustic guitar to show some musicianship. It's just good music for 2020 to come out. So recently. I'm not changing your world here, but if you got some time, check out Fake It Flowers by Biba Doobie.
I really thought that this was a really strong project. Lots of lyricism about cynicism and about existential sort of topics regarding validation, our existence on this planet, and faltered romance. These all are topics that resonated with me, and all of it's very angsty. And honestly, I think that was to this project's benefit. And I remember every track off this thing. All of the songs were ridiculously catchy and well made. One of my favorite tracks off this whole record was Natural Causes. Vocally, it was great, and instrumentally was also amazing, and had some lines that really stuck with me. One of them that I wrote down was, "Work is the definition, not the physical presence of an object." Basically speaking on how, as humans, we tend to define ourselves based on our work, to the point where work defines us rather than us just being human beings equal to one another. And if I'd have to give it a rate, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. So let's talk about these albums.
So like me personally, like that album would not have been something I would have found on my own. And it's interesting because I thought by the name and everything, I was like, I'm gonna hate this. But I didn't completely hate it.
What Porter recommended me is not too far off of what I would listen to. It was more cynical than most of my tracks, but I did enjoy the lyricism, and honestly, a lot of it was clever. The instrumentation was great, and I was really surprised by how much I actually liked the EP.
I don't think I've ever would have found it on my own either, like Natalia said, but I don't think it's like my thing, Like pop music is a hit or miss for me. This one was very repetitive throughout the whole thing. Maybe it's just me, but it's not my taste.
Honestly, it was kind of funny because Skibitsky reviewed 2 songs that I listened to the least on that album. And the song that I thought he wouldn't like is the song that he said that he'd like the most. It's really interesting to see how like different people see different music in different ways.
I was very surprised because our tastes are very different, I found. And I didn't think she would like it, but apparently she does. Like, she dissected it and everything, and it seems like she enjoyed it as much as I would have, just like normally listening to it.
In regard to Porter's review of my album, I did not expect him to like this record at all, but he listened to some of my personal favorite tracks off that album. He was saying that they were like magical and ethereal. And he overall really enjoyed the record. He gave it a really positive review, and I was, again, not expecting that at all. I thought he was going to think it was generic or basic or uninteresting, but he happened to really like it, and I'm glad that he liked it because it shows that even though we might have like these preconceived notions about like what people may enjoy in music, like we're still able to appreciate art. You know what I mean? Like together and at a certain level.
I learned that when now asking for music recommendations, don't go for the people that you know will lean towards more you.
The music someone listens to really matches their personality and what kind of character they are. The Ace of Base album was really like, poppy. Miss Matthews is like such a colorful character, I feel. She's always so happy in class. With any kind of genre and person, you could match that up like perfectly.
Music definitely tends to reflect who they are. And I feel that when it comes to music recommendations, you should definitely keep an open mind. I mean, you might end up finding music that you really enjoy that you might have not known about otherwise. Like some of my favorite music artists are artists that I wouldn't have found on my own if it weren't for recommendations.
Final thought, very good idea. I would definitely do again.
This is really fun to do. We never did something like this, and I would definitely do it with other teachers, like in the future.
I really did enjoy this whole moment of sharing music with people that you may not expect to enjoy music out of. I recommend this. I honestly recommend this whole activity. I think that people should try it because it really gives you a different sense of music in a way that you might not expect.
Thank you to all the teachers who participated.
Big thumbs up and thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.